Hey, what's up everyone? Greg Helbeck here from VelocityHouseBuyers.com, and today I want to share with everybody a case study on a property that I bought and sold successfully. And I want to kind of unpack where I found the deal, what I did, what we did to maximize our profit, and some lessons and mistakes that I learned so you guys can learn from me and copy this and do it yourselves. So, it is about a property that I did in New York, in Orange County, New York to be specific, in the town of Highland Falls. So basically, I'll give you the backstory. I identified this property because it had it had a tax delinquency issue. So there was some unpaid property taxes on the property, and it piqued my interest a little bit because it was a pretty substantial amount that was delinquent. So I figured, hey, this could be a potential problem I can solve. So the key here is I looked up the owner and found out that there were some sort of title issues on this property that actually caused this thing to become completely vacant. So not only was this thing tax delinquent, it was also vacant. So no one was living there for a long time, except for if you want to count some chipmunks and termites. Anyway, that wasn't even that funny. What I did was I located who the sellers were, right? And I called them and I said, hey, my name is Greg. I am an interested buyer of this property, and I'd like to make you an offer. And they were open to it, so we ended up negotiating the deal, and we came up to a win-win situation. I paid off their debt. I gave them some cash in their pocket. They really didn't expect to sell the property. They kind of forgot about it. I know who forgets about that, but they forgot about it. And they put some money in their pocket, and they were very happy with the transaction. And this thing had some title issues we had to get through. You know, we had to do some title work. There was some liens and code violations. There was a mess, this house. Long story short, got the property at a very good price. You know, obviously the seller knew we were going to make a profit, fully transparent about that. But this one I did not wholesale. I actually tried to wholesale this, but I got caught in a situation where I had to take this thing down, which is all good. And we went to go put this thing on the MLS, and this is where we made some mistakes. And if you're not familiar with what the MLS is, it's basically the marketplace for real estate. If you're a real estate agent, like, properties are listed and sold on this thing called the MLS. It's in all major cities in the US. I'm not sure if it's in Canada. So we went to go put this thing on the MLS. You know, we bought it, we owned it, my buddy's listing it, and we realized that because it was vacant for so long, the power was off, obviously, and then the natural gas lines were cut and basically sealed. So what that means is that, and I'm not too into construction, so this is just what the contractor told me. Basically, the lines to get the gas were completely shut off because the thing was vacant for so long, and they capped these natural gas pipes. So basically, to get the gas and the mechanicals running again, it was going to cost a lot of money that we did not anticipate. I didn't even see this house. Like, I just bought it, and I went there. I think I went there once because I live in California and this thing was in New York. So I went there once, never mind. I barely saw this thing. And the natural gas lines were cut. So we realized the issue with that, and I don't want to go down the whole rabbit hole of construction, but basically our buyer's market now to sell this property was very limited because we were planning on selling this thing to a retail buyer and making more money. But because of these issues, we actually got limited to pretty much just a pool of investors on the MLS. And we got a buyer lined up, and he started jerking us around a little bit, and there was this big fuss over a fence and this whole nightmare. Long story short, he really had us in a tough position as sellers of the property because we knew that this was a challenging property to sell because of the issues. And he kind of knew that he was the only one buying the property, so he had a lot of control in the sale of the property. And he actually ended up negotiating us down. And we ended up selling it way below what we were anticipating to sell it. But because we bought it so deep, we still made a very healthy profit, like extremely good deal, you know, very good, double, triple type of deal. But long story short, I want to pull out some key lessons here that I learned that you guys can learn from this video instead of doing it in the real world. Number one, the more targeted you are with your marketing, the better. So the better you are at identifying common denominators of good real estate investment deals, and the more you can get in the habit of generating those types of leads on a weekly basis, the more successful you're going to be at closing deals. The second thing is that most of the time, a lot of stuff is going to go wrong that you didn't anticipate. I didn't anticipate the natural gas disaster going on. I didn't anticipate me not being able to sell this thing to a retail buyer. I didn't anticipate this fence situation that came up where the neighbors got a lawyer. I didn't even mention that because I don't want to make this video too long. And there's going to be things that are going to come up that you didn't anticipate. But, however, I'm a big believer that as long as you buy the property right from the get-go, because you make your money on the buy, you realize the profits on the sell when they, come back into your bank account. If you can make sure that you buy that property correctly, and no matter what, you stress test the deal before you close on it, as long as those numbers pencil out, it is almost impossible to not make money if you have it at the right number. And obviously, there's no guarantees here, but because we bought the building so well, we were able to still make a very healthy profit, even though we sold this thing at a discount because we were motivated investor sellers. So, hope you guys got some nuggets from that. Once again, I'm Greg Helbeck. I'm from Velocity House Buyers. If you want to find out more about my company, you can go to velocityhousebuyers.com. If you also want to work with us, maybe you want to get in this business, you don't have a lot of time, and you maybe have some capital on the side. If you want to partner with us, or we're always looking for investors and people we can work with. So if you're ever interested in something remotely like that, you can always reach out to me personally, greg@velocityhousebuyers.com. Once again, that is Greg, G-R-E-G, @velocityhousebuyers.com. Let me know how I can help you, and I will see everybody on the next video. Peace.